Think this is working. All right. So good morning. This is what's 8:17 a.m. In the morning. July 10th, 2020. So the biggest topic I want to talk about that always comes up in my mind because I'm a married man, and the biggest things that I learned before I was married was, why do people cheat, specifically men? The whole other reason why, you know, the women's side of cheating, I don't know. I'm a male. All I can think about and kind of uncover are for men because I'm a man. So I'll find out a little bit more. I'll see what my wife thinks, and I'll talk with her, and I'll get her point of view, and we'll go from there. But for now, for men. So again, I'm a coffee man. The beginning part of it, from the very beginning. So it has to be stemmed from a long kind of root, if you will. Think of a tree. What we see on top, but is the men cheating, us cheating, I guess, because I'm a man too. And you know, overall underneath, what's the crazy part about it, what's going on underneath. So I'll give you my story so far, and I'll just make a quick, I guess, preface, a happy preface. 5 years into my marriage, coming in August. I know we're in July, but August 22nd will mark 5 years married to my wife. I never touched another woman. Never even, like I said, touched, had sexual relations, nothing. Not even touch, nothing. Um, and to this day, I've yet to go to a strip club. Put that in the parking lot of ideas because we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. So I feel like I have experience and understand why. But also, I do understand the difficulty of it. It ain't easy. So I'll start off with that. My When I was younger, I think typically I was just like a normal guy. My brother was more of the player of the family. There's only two of us in our household as far as boys, but three girls. But he was the one I looked up to, still look up to, and he he always gave me the sense of thought of, okay, meet as many girls as possible. And then from there, I had a funny thing of not having straight teeth. I have straight teeth now, thank God. But before that, when I was younger, phew, it was bad. I had almost like shark teeth. I had one tooth up front that was turned 90 degrees, so it was very crazy how that happened. And then overall, when I tried to get braces, well, I should say when I get braces, which is hard. We were the lower middle class. We had enough, but not extra stuff. And unfortunately, that was considered extra stuff in our household. Wasn't dying, nothing bad. I brushed my teeth. My teeth are strong and good, but they just look ugly. So from there, when I had my, I guess, dating life started in high school, even junior high, I didn't really think about it too much, but my self-esteem went lower in high school. And, but I had, I like to say I had a cute face, so women would approach me. I would approach them, and they'd say, "Yeah, let me talk to this guy." And then little by little, I noticed things started popping up where, oh, my sister is here, I gotta go, or oh, my mom's calling, I gotta go. I'm like, you don't got a cell phone. I feel her calling me in the air, and they leave. So I was like, okay, what's going on? And we had a great time talking and everything. So that was my high school life in a nutshell. So if you can imagine, lower self-esteem, but I didn't really worry too much about it. But I did notice a lot of other classmates, male classmates, were getting action, if you will. And this was a Catholic school. So I didn't really think about it too much. I didn't, and we'll talk about religion in a different video because that's a beautiful topic to talk about. But yeah, my school is like we didn't take advantage of everything that the Catholic school had to offer. We thought of it as a public school. It was really crazy at that time. So from there, my my idea of it was okay, try to get action, try to sleep with girls. That's what everyone's doing. And college came around and kind of same thing, but again, I wasn't getting action. I tried so many times, but I just really didn't have the opportunity. I'm like, all right. So then my brother was messing with me. He asked, what are you gay? I had been with girls for a while at your age. So it was interesting how I learned all that. And again, this was 20 years in the making now, or at least the last 10 years in the making. Ever since I was 10 years old up until 20, you thought about things like, oh, I like this girl. And, my biggest thing was what's going on? And then my brother's telling me if I'm gay, all these little doubts in my head. I'm like, man, I'm trying. Like, I joked about it in my head. I'm like, man, I wish I was gay and wouldn't have to deal with all this pressure. But, I wasn't. And, I still was attracted to women. And I learned more about my own religion, why that is. But, you know, I doubted myself. I doubted, do I like women? Because I'm trying, they don't like me. So, crazy thoughts in your head. And when I was in college, there was a girl that I chatted or that I befriended, and we had a couple classes together. A real nice friend. She was the one that really like kind of punched me, if you will, because in college I didn't know too much about Catholicism. Even though I went through all 12 years of Catholic school, it really genuinated more or really resonated more when I was in college. And I used to make fun of people specifically of other religions because I learned a little bit and I'm like, oh, well, my religion is better. All these different things you chat with people during study groups and no one defended themselves. So I took advantage of it. I'm like, all right, well, Islam talks about this, but you guys do another thing. Or Buddhist people believes this, but I see other people who are Buddhist here on campus that don't do it. All these different things. And then it took a Buddhist girl, a friend of mine that I mentioned, to say, hey, what about Catholicism? Catholicism, and she did the same thing to me, and she kind of stumped me because I'm like, I did not know. So it was pretty interesting. So it made me think, like, what do I know about my religion? I just tout about it, and taunt people and really don't know my religion. So I learned, I started Googling, I started looking at books and started reading things, the catechism, all these different things about the Catholic Church, um, because I really didn't know anything about it. What was the reason? 12 years in Catholic school and nothing. So that was the preface of it, because it talks about cheating now. It goes all back to the idea of cheating. Again, it's the nucleus of it is so profound. So when I was in college, I thought that I'm like, okay, well, let me see what goes on. And then I remember we used to joke very, just I guess my a bad time, but I remember when people used to say, "Oh, well, Christian girls or Catholic girls or religious girls, um, they're the ones that give the best action because they're very reserved, but you give them a moment to release and they will go crazy. They're the best girls to sleep with." All these little crazy ideas. I was like, okay, so I remember going to church, going to mass for that reason, and never had any luck. But I didn't really care about the mass. It was interesting. It was crazy how it all happened because I went there to find girls and I couldn't find anyone there. And I was in Ohio. I was born and raised in Toledo, Ohio, and I was like, man, all right, this is hard. I can't even get religious girls, and I'm Catholic myself, so I'm like, man. So I didn't think about the family aspect of it, the religious aspect of it, just really the idea of what do you want to do afterwards. And then from there, I graduated college, had a job offer, really great opportunity. I moved from Toledo, Ohio, to Waco, Texas, and I was single and ready to mingle. I had my braces off and I was ready to go. I was like, man, I feel great. I got a good job. I'm single. I have a lot to offer to a woman now. Um, and that was it. And I met a couple women, but nothing serious. And all of them were at your Mexican clubs that I went to, but it was nothing serious. It was literally not even one date. I was talking on the phone a couple times, and I wasn't really happy. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to meet girls, and these are not the women I like. I started being picky, but then I was like, you know what? I can't find this ideal girl of mine. I'll just see what it is. But the funny thing, it was in my head. You know, I wanted a woman that cared about Catholicism, but at the same time, I was like, no, there's not too much about it. So um, there's, I'll just settle, if you will. That was my mindset at that point there. Um, and then I started going to mass. I had a job that was just Monday through Friday, so I started going to mass, helping out on the weekends there at the parish, and that's where I met my now wife. But at the time, she was totally different, and it was she she just looked different as far as how to approach her to start talking, if you will, or chatting and getting to know. So my mindset in college was, hey, let's go out for a drink, especially when you're junior, senior, you're already of age of drinking, so it's easy to go to bars. Businesses had bars right next to the school, so a rough day studying, rough day taking exams. Let's go for a drink and see what happens. And a lot of times things happen. So it was it was pretty crazy how it happened because you don't think about it. You think of it just casual. And when I met Nan, my wife, um, I was like, you know what? It's different. I don't know how to approach it. I can't say let's go out for a drink because I saw what she stood for. And then I met her family at a festival and just, unofficially, and they were just there. And I'm like, um, wow, all of them go to mass, all of them participate in the church in the parish. And I'm like, all right, this is different. So it took a while for me to ask her, but from there, I asked her if I can get to know her. She said yes. We went out on a date or two. It was very nice. And I asked her one time over to my apartment during the day, and we stayed a couple hours. But I do remember this was the pivotal point. And look, we're 13 minutes in, and we haven't talked about the idea of cheating. But again, it all stems from the past. Remember, everything is a habit and we don't realize what's going on until we lose the people we love. So we have to really ask ourselves and go deep down into why did I do this? I told myself that I'll never cheat on my wife or my girlfriend, but why did Miss Sally comes around and I just did it? Why? So again, I'm breaking it all down right now. So and that's the crazy part. So going back to the afternoon in our apartment, very pivotal point in our relationship because we start kissing, making out in the bed or in the couch, watching Stand and Deliver, and it was it was a moment where it came in my head. It just clicked. Remember all these years of seeing all this, my brother being a player in high school, look but don't touch, all these little things, order from them, or look at the menu but don't order. All these little things come in my head, and I just had this woman in front of me, kissing her, and came out, and I said, and what I mean by coming out, it came out by words, and I said in a very very soft voice, what do you want? And apparently that worked before. And they were telling me what they wanted. And obviously it would be a little naughty and boom. So that was the first step. And it was hilarious because I asked her, what do you want in her ear? And she was right next to me. She says, nothing. And that's her voice. And I'm like, what should I do with this? So And I was raised never to be forceful to a woman. I think every man should know that. Every human, respectable human being should know that. To anyone from man to woman or woman to man. So in my head, I was like, okay, I gotta stop. So we made out a little bit, but we didn't move to the bed, if you will. And that was my whole idea was let's move to my bed. That was right next to it in the other room there, and it never happened. So and then we started finishing the movie, and then a couple hours later we were just chatting, and I was I guess escorting her out. She was walking out the door, and we were saying goodbye. And right at the doorstep, she was like, "Well, I don't know what you want to do with this relationship, but I want to be a virgin until I'm married." Straight up, she said that, and I'm like, "Okay, we'll talk later." So, and she left right away. She just mentioned that to me. Um, at that time, I was shocked, but man, looking back, that was a freaking strong woman to say that. Very petite woman, but she was the strongest one because she said that. It got me thinking. It turned a switch on that it messed with me. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Okay. So it's one thing of not knowing, but she told me already. So I know that there ain't nothing gonna happen sexually to us unless we get married. Um, this is hard. So uh, not in a good way. So it was very difficult. I didn't know what to do. Uh, so I started researching. That was about the time when my mom passed away. Didn't really like God too much because I was just mad that he took her away. And from there, I was like, man, what's going on? And she did it because of religion. So I was like, I gotta learn. I don't even know my own religion. About a year ago, that my Asian friend, hit me over the head, you know, hypothetically and or figuratively speaking, and she said, that's how you should do it. As far as learning about Catholicism, learn your stuff, and I really didn't learn too much. I learned a little bit, but it took another level when my wife or my girlfriend at the time um, told me that. So I was like, man, all right. So all that comes together now. 17 minutes in, 18 minutes in, all of it comes together now where, okay, why do I want to be with my girlfriend? This is girlfriend talk, not you know, wife talk yet. But why do I want to stay with my girlfriend? I can do two things. One, she's really giving me options here. Number one, stay with her. Number two, leave her. Because there's so many fish in the sea, right? We always hear that too. So I was like, okay, what do I do? There's options here. So I took the bigger route or the tougher route and say, you know what, I'm gonna learn more and I'm gonna stay with her. There's something about her. No other woman ever said that to me in my life. It's worth researching a little bit more. Why is she doing this? It's just sex, right? Nothing's wrong with that. But there's something wrong with it. So I want to know. So my curiosity got to me, and I learned a little bit more. So now that's the first step. If you're just watching, now it's the actual real steps now for the title. Men cheating. So here's the biggest thing that I learned. Input, output. Simple. And I'll make a quick video of this too as well, but so you don't have to watch the biggest thing of why it transformed, but it is very important to do so. But input, output, whatever comes into your mind, remember, we are human beings that our brain, even the most intelligent scientists cannot explain why our brains function. So they can explain how our brains function. They can explain what's going on in there, but they can never explain why. and let alone try to replicate it. Um, they and From what I remember, from what I read, they can replicate it, but with human parts, if you will, or and that's above my pay grade to learn, but haven't learned that yet. But stem cells, all these different things that they're getting, it's from humans, but they cannot replicate it like with their own. They can't make skin. They can't make another brain. All these little things, these components, cloning all these different things, but at the end of the day, they can't explain why the brain thinks like that. Why? And it just fascinates me. So um, our minds are so darn powerful. That's the biggest thing. Our minds are so powerful that we can have a memory of 20 years later and still remember. Um, it's just crazy how it happens. So, input, output, whatever comes in our brains is going to come out somehow, in some way, aka our subconscious. Um, and that's very powerful when men cheat because they don't realize it. So, tackling the idea of why do men think it's okay to look but don't touch? Because in that category is strip clubs. Oh, you can look but don't touch. And even certain strip clubs are you can do a little touching, which is crazy. But I guess this I wouldn't even say sophisticated ones, but the ones that follow the rules are just look essentially. So that's the biggest thing is um, they have all these things, but they're sucking all this data, all this information in their head, and they're inputting it all. They remember, I don't know, what's a weird name? What's a stripper, common stripper's name? You put it in, you insert whatever name that is, Destiny or Sugar. I don't know, but any of those names, I'll respect a woman more. I'll just use Sarah or Susan, whatever name essentially, because they are women. They change their names, but they are human beings to me. They are a sister in Christ to me, and that makes a big difference because that respect, that humility comes with it. But when we think of them as just an object, respect comes in. So many things can come in your mind. And if you can imagine all those people experience the same things I did, but kind of not the same way, but the same concept is they have 10, 15 years in their history, in their mind of the most common thing, look but don't touch, all these different things. So it comes all together to the point where it's okay to look at a naked woman. It's okay to look at a girl that has leggings that you can see all of her body. It's okay to look at a woman's breasts when you're with your girlfriend. It's okay. And even the girlfriend might say, hey, she's hot. All these different things. So it gives confirmation to the guy that, okay, I'm allowed to do that. My wife said, or my girlfriend said it. So all these little things are coming into your head. And then the most specific percentage, or the highest percentage of people who cheat, and I got this off Google, are people within work environments, people those are the highest percentage of cheaters, if you will, are with people who they know already. It's not a random girl they just happen to see at a club. It's the one that they happen to see at the club and got their number. And 2 weeks later, they say, hey, what's up? Nothing. It's innocent, right? Your girlfriend sees it. Well, this is your friend. Yeah, I just met her, but she's just a friend. Um, and that goes on. The input of saying it's just a friend, it's just a friend. But we have to realize the nature of our sexuality. Our nature is that, and again, this is just for heterosexuals. I'll just talk about that. Being sexually attracted to from men, being sexually attracted to men, that's totally different. I respectfully disagree with that. I feel that a man is sexually attracted to a woman, and a woman is sexually attracted to a man. It's very simple. I was taught that, and now I believe it. I learned about it. I contemplated on it, and that's what I feel. And so going back to that is we know our sexuality. It's just in nature that I'm going to be attracted to breasts. I'm going to be attracted to a nice curvature of a body by a woman. So when you do all that and you kind of negate your sexuality and kind of deny it, and that's wrong. So that's pretty scary when you say, "Oh no, no, nothing's gonna happen. I'm tough. I love my girlfriend. Nothing's gonna happen. I can go up to a girl and chat with her. Nothing's gonna happen." But again, your subconscious is taking all this information in. Let's make a specific example, semi-specific, at your work. If you work at a office type environment or a manufacturer type environment, any of those type of jobs, anything, you name it, you deal with people, you see people, and you get to know them because you see them more, basically more than your girlfriend, and you see them, every day, and you're starting to realize like, oh, we have the same interests. And then you start to realize, hey, I'm telling her how's my day. This potential person I might cheat on or a friend in the office, I'm telling her more how I feel than my girlfriend when I get off of work and she asks me the same question, how's your day? And then my friend asked me at work, how was your day? Or how's your, and I'm just more excited. So I learned a little bit more. It's the energy inside of us. Again, I can't explain it, no scientist can, but our energy gives off this excitement. And the way I think about it, make it so easy, is that we we have a tank of gas. That's the easiest analogy I can think of. We have a tank of gas that's full, and here's E and here's full. And every time when we talk to someone, it could be something as little as "How's your day?" or "Hey Becky," or "Hey Jennifer, how you doing?" You go into the coffee room and you chat with them. Every time it goes a little lower, and smaller and smaller until to the point where 8 hours goes by and you're just drained. You're like, man, I'm tired. And then you go to your girlfriend and you chat with your girlfriend on the phone or in person. She asks you the same thing. You're not going to be that energetic as if you were in the morning. It's just that science. You're not. So save it. So my now sister-in-law, she was my wife's sister. At the time, she asked me one time, because, and this is a true event that happened. I had a friend that I liked, but it was just, you don't say that you like them, but you chat with them. And of course, she's a pretty girl. So, but nothing happened, right? Nothing happened. This was in college, and I thought different too. And she mentioned we reacquainted or we found each other, I guess, on LinkedIn. She requested me as a friend or LinkedIn connection request, and I accepted it. And I'm like, oh, it's nothing, it's just a request. But I do remember her. A couple of years went by now that I graduated from college, and she said, "Hey, how you doing? How's everything?" And I was like, good, good. And I wrote back again, that little thing. This is when I was dating my girlfriend, my wife at the time. Nothing, right? It was just simple. Just, how's everything? Reacquainted, yeah. And that's it. So, and then out of nowhere, the next message, because I asked her how she been, and the next message, oh, not too bad. He's someone to talk to, going through a lot with my ex-boyfriend. And I was like, you know what? And then she asked me, she was like, is there any way we can chat? I'd love to catch up. And she asked me for my number. I did not respond. Till this day, I've not responded. And I told my sister-in-law that because we are talking, about the idea of cheating essentially. And I told her, I'm like, yeah, no. And that was a big, that was when I was very, like, it exploded in my head where I understood. I'm like, wow, like this is why men cheat is that we take it for granted. We think of it so little until our subconscious takes over. We just don't know how we did it, and that's a stupid reason, but that's why they do it. Is that they don't realize it. They don't, and that's our bodies. So I just cut it, and nip in the butt is a big analogy I like. You have to, because it will overpower you, and you cannot control. Nature will take over. It's simple. And once you're with that woman, you have all these little pieces of data input in your mind of, she's just a friend, but she likes the same sports as me. We chatted about little things, topics. We don't like the same coworker. All these little things. We chat, we laugh with each other. These little fun things, and somehow she's not seeing anyone. She happens to be cute, and I happen to like her, but I'm with my girlfriend, and somehow when I'm real mad at my girlfriend, somehow I think of her, and I'll get more intense in just a minute, even more. Well, heck, let's do it now. When I may have to, I may have think about her when I have sex with my girlfriend. All these different things where they're so powerful that we don't talk about it, but it's in our heads. And then when that moment comes, when you're mad at your girlfriend or something were to happen, obviously relationships have arguments and quarrels, so it's gonna happen. First thing you're gonna say, you're gonna think about in your head, where is Angela? Where is this coworker? Let me chat with her. Let me go through my phone and see all the old texts that she sent me. Oh wow! And I'll just say, "What's up? How you doing?" Or go on Facebook and direct message someone, or Twitter, Instagram, anything. Say, "Hey, what's up? How you doing? Just having a hard time." All these little things, and then boom! By the time you know it, you're physically with them. Whether you're at a coffee place or, God forbid, and right away you go to their place, or they go over your place, and nature will take over. I mean, that's how it is overall, but that's the biggest thing about how many those inputs and outputs come in play. So just to conclude that part about the tank, save it and nip in the butt. And let me go back to about my sister-in-law when I told her, that girl, that friend of mine, that was just a friend, but it was crazy because her cousin I used to work with when I was at a Mexican restaurant, and I really liked her. I even asked her out; she said no. So all that connections comes back where, oh, it's the cousin, and all those little things. And like I said, to this day, I never responded. And my sister-in-law at the time, she was like, "But why?" She looked at me weird, and she was like, "You got all crazy because of that? Like, why?" She just wanted to talk. You guys are on the phone. Like, what is it of giving her your phone number? What's wrong with that? It's not like you guys are meeting up. And I was like, I don't care. Then she's like, well, you don't care about, she's having a hard time. She said it sounded like she was weeping. She said, by that message, and you didn't want to be nice to her. It's just being nice. And I said, and I cussed at it. I'm like, F no. I was like, I don't give a F. I don't care. And I looked at her again. I was like, I don't care about that. I'm with my girlfriend. I don't care. And she's like, hmm. And you almost have to be tough like that. Like, F it. Who cares what she did? Like, who cares what she thinks? She may call me an asshole or a jerk because I didn't respond, and she might hate me. Who cares? I'm with this woman now. I'm with my girlfriend now. And girlfriend sounds so cliche now, but I'm with this woman now. I am courting this woman. I am in a relationship with this woman now. I don't care about any other women. I don't. And that's the first step, is giving that respect to the person you're with. That's the very first step. If you don't do that, again, everything is just mush or just small or minute. Who cares? And when you have that, that helps you as a man. You're like, oh, I'm taking control of my relationship, and not controlling the woman, but controlling my actions. That's all I can do. I cannot control my girlfriend or my wife. Now I can never because she's her own person, but I can't control what I do. And she sees that. So that was the biggest thing. I look at it and I'm like, you know what? This is what happened. This is what happens when you give that type of love to that person. So when cheating comes, you don't know what to do because you think you're bombarded with all these inputs. But think about this. I've done this from the very beginning of dating. We dated ever since 2012 and it's 2020. So 7 or 8 years in the making. I've done this and you're going to be shocked. But I am going to not look at a woman. So look at this. Look at the camera straight ahead. I just look to the left and I look to my right. And I'm not even moving my head. I'm looking up and looking down. So peripheral vision. I decided, because I learned more about my religion. Again, I'll talk about religion in a different video. But long story short, it made me feel that I believe this. This is why. And the whole thing it comes about is so funny. It actually motivated me because I've been meeting more and more professionals, more and more people. And the crazy part about it is that I see, and there's even my brother's family, unfortunately, his in-laws, they divorce. I see a lot of people divorcing. And I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want to be 40 years old and I'm in my couch or on my couch and my wife says to me, I'm out of here. I'm gone. So I was kind of selfish to learn more about it because I'm like, okay, I don't want that. I may not know what I want, but I definitely know what I don't want. And it motivated me to learn more about Catholicism, why they take a big stance on marriage and chastity, all this stuff. And I was like, okay, something's going on, and I don't want that to happen. So maybe if I do something different. So again, it's all an experiment. But man, it's a beautiful experiment so far. 8 years in the making. And but yeah, going back to what I did from the very beginning, 2012, again, that motivated me to saying, okay, I got to do something different. I don't know if this is correct. I don't know if it's not correct, but I'm gonna do it because it's different from so many people. And statistically speaking, what 66%, maybe 65, whatever, but who cares? It's a big number. That's more than half of Americans get divorced in America here. And I'm like, okay, so 1 out of 2 people I see is divorced. That's crazy. 350 million people in the US. So, well, I'm bad at math. What, 150? So 160, 170, 170 million people are divorced. I'm like, I don't want that. I just don't. From down from me saying I don't want that. So that's what motivated me. I'm like, I'm gonna try because I was a big proponent. I was all, it was convenient for me to say, look but don't touch, look at the menu but don't order, all these different things. It's okay to look at it, and we can look good without acting dumb. I know people say, oh, men, stare. No, there are many, many millions of men who can look and don't show that they're looking at other women. We're pretty good at it. It's only the jerks that stand out that we just look at them. But we can do pretty good. So I told myself, stop. Let me try. Let me try not to look at my coworker. Let me try not to look at her as she bends down, or even just turns around. All these little movements. Let me try not to do that because I don't know. Maybe it's respectful, but maybe it'll help my relationship with my wife. So I did that and it was hard. I literally had to look away because I didn't realize how much beauty is in the world today, much less in Waco. There's a lot. And so I had to work overtime. And it was interesting, but it was weird because I'm starting to not put information, that input output, into my head. So just starting, infancy stages. And just little by little, I feel like I'm transforming. A month went by, and I'm like, I did it. And from there, I was like, okay, how do I continue this? It's kind of cool because now I'm not thinking about it. jump to a year of doing it, I remember I had a wet dream sometimes. I think of when I had sex dreams. I don't. And I didn't at the time. So I was like, well, this is changing little by little. And then what happens? You're not having sex with your girlfriend. My wife said at the time, no, she's practiced chastity. And then obviously minimizing or taking away in my perspective, taking to it. And it makes me feel good. I'm like, wow, I'm thinking of my girlfriend only. I mean, that's what it's outputting. And I'm inputting everything. And then the other thing I did was not talk to coworkers, no chatting, took off Facebook, took off, I didn't have Twitter, I just had Facebook or Instagram. I didn't have Instagram either, but just Facebook. I took off all of that. She did as well. But yeah, it was interesting how I just kind of nipped it in the bud. I stopped it. And I got crap for it. My brother-in-law was like, you're in business. Your business meetings with women over drinks. You're going to do that. And I'm like, no, I still have a choice. And so that is crazy how, that's what happens with that. I still have a choice and I've done it. You don't put yourself in the situations because I know what would happen. And again, maybe not the first time, maybe not the second, maybe not the third, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I think that's why so many people say, oh, there's nothing to worry because you don't care about the infancy stages. But if you keep pegging that, keep pegging to the point, and this is why I would, I guess, leave at this because my family's waking up right now, is that all I'm doing is lowering the chance of cheating. So here's cheating, and here's nothing. This is like a text message from a girl from junior high. This is nothing. There's no worry, and this is full on cheating. You're not with that person anymore because you cheat on her. So it's pretty extreme at this point. And what I'm doing is I'm starting from the very beginning of stopping, nipping in the butt. People start, and I wish I had a third arm. People start about right here. Most common men start about right here. Text message to actually think about what's going to happen this whole time. So they're already about third away, almost halfway down to cheating. They started real long, essentially, real far along. And they would say, hey, I'm chatting with her at work. This is, telling her your feelings, telling her what you think about whatever topic, about life topics, about girlfriend topics, about cheating topics, anything. This is getting serious topics right here. And you don't realize it, but you go a little bit further, essentially. Now you're at three-fourths there to realize, like, okay, why am I feeling this way? I don't even know why. And then boom, the cheating happens. When you're three-fourths there, nature takes over. It's just a fact. Nature is going to take over. You can take it to the bank. Is just going to happen. Things that your subconscious from this time to that time, it's going to happen. So what I'm doing, I just start from zero. I nip in the butt. And again, as a Catholic, I learned that we're all sinners. That's a fact too. There's no perfect person. Only Jesus was perfect, is perfect. And not us. That's the way of life. We can't change it. That's the art of living, essentially. That's the idea of living, is to learn about our mistakes, about our sins. So we're all sinners. So there are gonna be times when a beautiful girl just happened to come up, or I just have to run into one, or I might think more than 30 seconds. Because if you think more than 30 seconds, heck, more than 20 seconds, or even 10, of a thought of an attractive woman is gonna be saved in your head. You cannot stop it. It went into your subconscious. So we know that there are beautiful women going into this world, or in this world, you're gonna see them. So what do? A priest did this one time. I love it. I still do it 8 years later. It's a bird. Bird comes on your head, you flock it away essentially. But if you leave it there, if the bird stays there, it's going to start a nest and it's going to continue on. It's going to spread all in your head. That's what I explained the input output. That's your subconscious. So you have to nip in the butt. You have to think about something else, or AKA look away. You can't think of what you can't have seen. I can only imagine the worst things that you can see in the world, but until you see it, you're not going to get the full caption of it in your head. It's just not, that memory isn't there. So if you take away that memory, all these little things I'm doing right now, or at that time too, it's changing the way you think. And then when, that going back to the idea of when I'm starting right here, I'm going to sin. I am going to think about more than 20 seconds. I'm going to think about a girl or a friend or anything, or when I'm by myself, I'm going to think a little bit. But I'm only going to be right here. And my counterparts, or the typical guy, is going to move faster along this little range, I call it, from nothing to cheating. I think that's the secret. I think that's the reason why men cheat. 46 minutes into this, and it takes me 46 minutes to say that, but I had to preface it with everything because it is such a powerful thing, and it just disgusts me a lot that men do that. This is real. I meet people every day that people, and I drive for Lyft. I do it full time and starting why I started this business, and that's providing for my family. And I meet so many people, but a lot of single mothers. Men leave their children. Men leave their 4 year old, their 11-month-old. And I see the women, and it has nothing to do with, oh, a woman can do it. No, it has nothing to do with that. We know women are strong. We know it. I personally know it. But that's not how it should be. You shouldn't struggle like that. It should be a man to be there, not to say, oh, you can't do anything. No, forget all that. We're all equal, especially in the eyes of God. And we always say, oh, be submissive. No, but never, never talk about the idea of men have to be submissive to women too. That's what religion tells us. That's what Catholicism tells us. But for some reason, the only thing that reaches people's minds is that half part, and then people get angry, especially women. Think, oh, a man can't tell me what to do. All these things it has nothing to do with that. It's about being one together. And so you can't be full, she can't be full. It goes both ways, and you have to learn and believe that religions say, hey, we are one together, but I am half without you. There's nothing wrong with saying that. It's a beautiful thing. And when you do that, when you take away that man's side of it, the father's side of it, it's freaking hard. And it's disgusting to me. A man is not a man when he does that. I fight so hard. There's so many times when we had $0 in our checking account. I still fought. I still woke up. I didn't know what to do, but I still continued on. And that's what is why I'm talking about men cheating, because a lot of times that's the reason why they separate, or they reconcile, but they don't care about the relationship anymore. So it very, very much taints the relationship. It's the very beginning of it, and it sucks to me. So that's why I'm a big proponent. That's why I'm talking about this, going in close to an hour in. But man has to be stronger, and we have to take away the idea. It doesn't matter if your wife says it. It doesn't matter if your wife says, "Oh, you can look at other girls. Oh, we can watch TV and say, oh, that guy's attractive. Oh, okay, you can say that too about women. Who cares? You can't control what she does, and again, she can't control you. You can only control yourself as a man. So you have to take it upon yourself and say, you know what? For respect for you, I'm not going to look at this woman. Say it out loud. Say it to her. Tell her, honey, I took an hour today at the gym and I did not look at any hot woman more than 10 seconds that came in front of my vision. And I did 0 seconds of proactively looking at it. That changes people. When you say, "Wow, he's doing that for me," that makes you think. Again, you can't control her, but you can let her know what you're doing. And I'm telling you, it will change her. She will. Any honest woman. If a woman that has that cheating mindset, she wouldn't care. But honest woman would say, "Man, I have to do some rethinking of my own." Because again, that's a whole other mindset of a woman. But I could imagine that it's very similar. She has the same temptation, she has the same situations at work, at the gym, all those the same things. So I could imagine it's the same. But for men, we have to stop believing that idea that I can watch a movie that has sex. I don't even watch American Pie anymore. American Pie is like an American movie. You watch it. I don't even know. I didn't even know it had so many crazy stuff about it. So my family's waking up, so I'll end it here. But think about that. When you start from here, it's not going to be effective. So let's, real quick, masturbation. When you masturbate or do something that's sinful, again, we're all sinners. Um, you're still not cheating. You may think of that woman when you're masturbating. That's not your girlfriend, but you're still not cheating. So again, that's the ultimate sin, especially in marriage. Especially in marriage. I didn't even talk about marriage, but think of what I'm talking about times 10. It's eternal. So it's so powerful when you get married. Dating is different, but I highly suggest to practice chastity. Try it. I dare you. Try it. This man is so freaking beautiful. When you can go, and again, I can't control anyone of having sex before marriage. But I will tell you this: I had sex before marriage, but not with my wife. And when I had it for the first time, I felt like I was a virgin. That 3 years that I felt, that I practiced all these things that was hard that I did 10 years ago, and or the past 5 years of that time, I transformed it when I was with my wife for the first time on our wedding night. It really felt like I was a virgin. It was so freaking amazing. No thoughts, nothing, just purely her and I connecting on an intimate sexual level that no one can replace. It is unbelievable. It's the highest high that you can think of. I don't care. I never taken cocaine, I never taken heroin, I never taken LSD, but damn it, it's better than all of them put together, I bet. Because man, this was just, we just connected that so, and I've been with other women before, she never did. So I could imagine the intensity of her feeling of it. But mine was so powerful. I'm like, man, just you just almost want to hug her as you're having sexual relations with her, like looking into her eyes, all these different things that we joked about. Like, don't look at a girl's eyes when you have sex. That's weird. No, it's the most beautiful thing. We are afraid of that pure love. So that's really what it is. Pure love is the ultimate love. And but we have to work on it. Please work on it. I dare you to not have sex with your girlfriend. It's going to be hard, literally. It's going to be difficult, especially when you love her and you start to like her, but it's only going to grow. It's only going to grow, and then you're going to learn to control that temptation, control that desire. Because when you control it, you'll never get over here. It's just the cheating part. You'll never go over there. So again, if that's what you want, your action speaks louder than your words. If you want to not cheat, practice chastity. Simple as that. And learn about those little steps I told you. Look away. Do you use your peripheral vision? Tell your girlfriend that you did that on purpose, that you're doing that. Tell her that you're working on this relationship. Act as if, like you guys ever saw the movie Boiler Room, act as if, with Ben Affleck, act as if you're going to marry her in a year. Act as if you're going to marry her in 6 months. Act as if you will change. You will change. Let's say you don't marry her and you break up, but you just had an experience with the woman. When you deal with the sexual part of it, you're going to take that part of a woman. You'll always have it. And that is an asshole move if you leave her. Because now you just took part of her. and that's wrong. Same thing with the women that I slept with before my wife. They were assholes. They didn't care about my virginity. They didn't care about it. They just wanted a good time. So it goes both ways. And but you have to say, I'm gonna stop. And you can be healed, I guess. I wouldn't call it healed, but yeah, physically, not physically, but emotionally, I was injured. That pureness of me that I took for granted, I didn't even care, and I didn't even know I had. I just wanted to have a good time because everyone's doing it. I was healed. I went back to virginity, if you will, but not physically. But I forgave all those women. I said, okay, I prayed for them. All these powerful things that only comes in your head. When that moment comes, you're free of everything. It's just pure. And again, I don't know how to explain because physically I'm not pure. I know I had sex with them. I will always have that part in my head, but the pureness of me thinking that I forgive them and I'm with my wife. I'm practicing, or with my girlfriend. I'm practicing this so much that overpowers the idea or the memory of me just having casual sex with that woman. So it's the biggest thing that you can do to care for your relationship. And then again, for marriage, it goes on a whole other level. Same thing, but powerful. I still practice chastity here. I don't think of, hey, it's automatic, it's instant sex because she's my wife. No, you have to respect her too. You have to learn her body. You have to understand her cycle. You have to understand how her body works, to be respectful, to love her. She's not just an object. I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, I can have sex with her anytime. Bull crap. You still respect her. We still practice chastity because we still want that moment. If you want to talk about spice, you don't have to go to a therapist to do that. Just learn about them more. Take away sex, even in marriage, and revisit that at a certain time, a month, 2 weeks, whatever. But take that time to learn about them more. What am I missing out of this marriage? So again, it's unbelievable. I'll always talk about marriage, and we'll talk more about it. And but that's the idea of mentioning is to conclude is that overall you have to nip in the butt and F anyone who thinks otherwise or calls you a prude or calls you, oh, you're not, oh, there's the other thing. You're not okay, or you don't trust your wife, you don't trust your girlfriend. Bull crap. Trust your girlfriend. It has nothing to do with trusting your girlfriend. It's about not trusting yourself. So when you do that, when I did all this talking about cheating, I did not talk nothing about if I trust my girlfriend or not. It's you. And when the girlfriend says it, that's why I'm a proponent for the girlfriend. When they say, oh, because a lot of times that whole, oh, you don't trust your girlfriend happens to the guys. The guys say, oh, don't go out to clubs, don't do this, because you're gonna cheat on her. Oh, you don't trust. Oh, you gotta have a girls' night out, boys' night out. Bull crap. Most of the times you meet women there and women meet men there, and nothing will happen. But again, it's a cycle. It's a cycle. We think nothing will happen. Yes, nothing physically happen here, but you're getting closer. So again, it talks about, do you care about your boyfriend? And vice versa as men. Do you care about your girlfriend? That's your action. Obviously, no. If you're going out to parties, you're going out to friends, all those things, I see it every day with Lyft. I take guys away from their families and taking them to bars. I'm the Lyft driver. I know. I see him saying bye to his family and, oh, we're going out for a drink. I mean, you have your family there. What, you're tired of your family? And then I get it. Oh, you see them a lot. That's bullcrap too, because if you have full time, you don't see them a lot. So something about it that you're not connected or you're just making excuses and you're just tired of it. So it's a serious thing because relationships are very, very low right now. And people are not caring about others, stepping over others, not caring about each other. And that's wrong. So please take your time and say, what do I want? Do I want this person to be with me for the rest of my life? Think about it. Think about it. If so, you will take steps to be respectful, to love them. You will, instead of saying, "Oh, we'll see. They're just a piece of ass. I will see what happens." No, find out, have a plan, and then tell her about it. If she says no, you're weird, you think too much in the future, fine, goodbye. No harm, no foul, no foul, no harm. So you go to another woman, and that's how dating should be. Tell them what you feel up front from the very beginning. And they're either going to say you're weird and they go by, or the other one, like I did, when my wife told me at the time that she won't have sex, I called her weird in my head at first, but then it will make you decide. And I decided to let me learn more. That's the best decision I ever did. We have two little boys, most beautiful things, and they're the most beautiful human beings ever. He loves Power Rangers. It's so cute, so powerful, and that's what makes me going on. And that's the secret to happiness. That's what I feel. That's the secret of happiness. All those things coming together, loving your wife, loving your children, that you just do good things. But if you don't, and it all starts with choosing, it all starts with caring. And again, I think I tell people who say that you don't trust your girlfriend by going to clubs. We experienced that too, my wife and I at the time when she was dating, and she was serious about dating too, and she still went on a girls' night out. It was the hardest thing ever. But I told her what I felt. I didn't control her. She still went. But I told her how I felt. Until this day, she says thank you because that action of letting her, or not forcing it, but telling her how I felt. You have every right to say that. I don't feel, and at that time, I didn't learn about it yet. I didn't know about the cycles that is going to happen. We both learned about it, and then she said, "I'm sorry," and I forgave her. She did dance with the guy to get close to her. So it does happen. And all it takes is, let me grab your number, let me grab your Instagram, your Facebook. And that's how it continues, those little things. And it took her to learn it. And she didn't follow that cycle. She stopped right at the quarter. Again, we're all sinners. You have to forgive that. But when it comes to soul cheating, I don't blame anyone that wants to leave, because that is, I'm a big believer of the whole once a cheater, always a cheater, but it's more powerful than that. You will break that trust. And I mean break it. Like it's gonna mess with you 10 years, 15 years from now, if you ever are with that person. So please, I'll end it with this. Take full action of your actions. You you have to be strong and say, okay, I'm gonna be a man. Being a man is being with one woman, being respectful, caring about her, loving her, putting all my time into her. Everything in society tells me not to. It's all about me, me, me. F that. I'm with someone now. I'm going to give them my love. A selfless act. And that's what happens when happy relationships happen. When they take place, you care about the other. And again, you can't control the woman, but you can control yourself. And I'm telling you that a good, honest woman will see that and she will change as well. So hope everything, people who watch this, hope you have an hour to watch this. So I appreciate you watching at this point. I thought it was going to be 10 minutes, but no. But yeah, overall keep that energy. You only have that little tank of gas left. Give it to the right people for the right person. And the cycle part of it. F anyone that says, "Oh, it's just you're just doing something simple. Why do you have to be all crazy about it? You're just talking to her." F it, because you know in your head how powerful your mind is, and you say, "You know what? I'm not going to do it at all." And I'm telling you, it's going to change minds. It will, and more importantly, it's going to change your spouse's mind and your girlfriend's mind. And that's what it's all about. Everyone else, F them. Um, and I'm telling you, protect that, and it'll be great. But that's what the idea of men cheating is. They don't take it seriously. They don't realize how powerful a simple chat will be. Um, and you have to do it. You just have to stop from the very beginning. I know it's hard. We're men. where we like to have a conversation. But imagine if you keep all that gas in that tank and give it to your wife, as far as talking, as far as sharing your ideas, and of course, intimately, sexually, all that. You just give all that love to her. Man, it's the most bonding love ever. Um, and I think I talked religion in like 10 seconds. So if you don't believe in Catholicism or any kind of religion, put that aside. This is just being a good human being. That's really what it is. Catholicism just happens to coin it or to have it in their teachings. But I mean, just being a good human being, do that. Respectful. This world is telling you it's all about you now. No, it's not. It's not about you, especially if you're dating someone. Unless you practice chastity all your life, good luck with that. But then you don't have to worry about anyone but yourself. But the moment when you share an idea, the moment when you say your opinion, you're affecting people. So think about what you're saying. Think about how you affect them. And then when you're with a relation in a relationship with someone, you're going to the next level. Now you're affecting their lives, person's life, and then sexually as well. So again, it's a very powerful thing. Take it, with the idea that you can do it. You are a man. You are strong to say, I choose not to go to strip clubs, even though my wife says or my girlfriend says it's cool. It's okay. I will not look at another woman that I can control. But even if a woman comes in my vision or my view, I will look away what do you call unnoticeably. I'll do all these things. I'll work on it because I'm with this person. Because that tells you something. You're either taking it serious or don't take it serious. So if you want to don't do that, break up with her. Simple as that. But if you want to be with her, do those things. I'm telling you, it's 8 years in the making. I don't know yet. 5 years into my marriage, and I feel like it's 5 days into it. So do it. Sex is great. Oh man. So it just it's amazing. It's so pure that you laugh about it. You get so excited. It's unbelievable how it does that. And it just motivates you overall, and you feel like wow. And that's where the trust comes. That trust, when people talk about, oh, it's about you don't trust it, bull crap. You don't have time to trust them. You don't have enough time to do that. So when you do all these things first, the physical actions, which are physically not looking at another woman, physically not talking to another woman, when you're doing all these things to preserve this beauty, this beauty of the relationship, that's where trust is created. And man, you trust them. So I'll leave it at that. And thank you very much. And I'm going to end the stream. Thank you.